Welcome to another edition of East End News on LTV. Today is July 31st, 2025. I'm Christine Sampson. This is your community and your news. After Kmart closed last October, it didn't take long for one of the brand's top national competitors to scoop up one of the largest empty storefronts in Southampton town. Target is coming to Bridgehampton, and our correspondent Dara Berger has more on this story.
You may have driven past the large empty store, which used to be the Kmart in the Bridgehampton Commons, and wondered if that once bustling parking lot is going to stay deserted. People have taken to the popular social media website Nextdoor to ask one another if they know what's going on with this still empty space. Both locals and summer visitors had gotten pretty used to having a place to get many of the items they need. The Kmart opened in 1999 and then finally closed its doors for good in October 2024. Many articles flourished when Target took over the lease late last year. But month after month, with none of its signature signs showing up, the whispers began to circulate if they will ever open in that space. LTV East End News did their homework and made some calls. We were told exclusively about the different approval processes that Target has had to go through in order to start working on the inside of the store. According to Southampton Assistant Planning Director Claire Shea, it took until the end of June to have the site plan approved, and then in early July they had the rest of the plans, including parking, completed. A Target spokesperson told Shea they intended to open the store in the new year, 2026. Reporting for Bridgehampton, I'm Dara Berger with LTV East End News.
A statewide campaign is underway to get homeowners to replace old cesspools and malfunctioning septic systems with new technology. New York State has just announced it's investing $30 million into a rebate program that will reimburse homeowners who choose to upgrade. State Assemblyman Tommy John Scivone has sponsored legislation that ups the reimbursement from $10,000 up to $25,000. Governor Kathy Hochul made it official by signing his bill into law on Friday, July 25th. Those outdated cesspools and septic systems have been said to leach too much nitrogen into the water supply, which directly leads to increasing toxic algae blooms, brown tides, fish die-offs, and other issues. When combined with similar incentives at the town and county levels, the Assemblyman said the new efficient septic systems can be installed at little to no cost to homeowners. Scivone said in a statement that our environment, public health, and economy will benefit tremendously from this boost in water quality funding. Over in North Sea, the volunteer fire department is issuing an urgent reminder to not throw out combustible materials such as batteries, paint rags, and chemicals with your everyday trash. This alert comes on the heels of a fire at the waste transfer station on Major's Path on Monday. At about 2:30 p.m., firefighting crews responded to a report of smoldering rubbish in a trailer near the cardboard disposal area. First Assistant Chief Tom Rowinski of the North Sea Fire Department told us that a quick-thinking town employee, Frank Rayner, was able to close the trailer to cut off oxygen to the fire. Then, Rayner towed it to a less-used area on the property, which allowed the firefighters to quickly and safely knock it down and prevent permanent damage. While the exact cause of Monday's fire hasn't been determined yet, First Assistant Chief Rowinski said other recent incidents involved batteries tossed onto the regular trash pile. He encourages everyone to check their local municipality's website for information on proper disposal of things like batteries, household chemicals, and rags used for wood staining. It just so happens that another stop day is coming up, this time on August 2nd at the Sag Harbor Recycling Center, so that's another option. Sag Harbor School District officials are weighing a big capital project, but first, it wants to hear feedback from its residents and students. The school district has released a preliminary project outline on its website showing rough ideas for a renovated gymnasium, a robotics engineering lab, a woodworking shop, and a marine science classroom. The priorities, the district says on its website, are safety, science, and sports. The gymnasium was built in the 1960s and has seen patchwork repairs over the years, so this appears to be a priority. In a statement, the Educational Facilities Planning Committee says the current high school gym, quote, does not provide an optimal experience for our students and community members. To gauge public opinion on these potential projects, school officials are circulating a brief online survey. This can be accessed via the Pearson Capital Project link at sagharborschools.org. Our next story takes us even deeper into the heart of Sag Harbor Village, to a story that began on April 22, 2008, the day that a young Marine Corps member, Jordan Herder, died in battle in Iraq. Correspondent Dara Berger has more on Jordan's story and the annual community event named in his honor.
These runners are participating in a 5K local run walk to raise money for local veterans, but also in remembrance of a very special fallen hero.
Jordan's Run was founded in honor of my son, Lance Corporal Jordan Herder, United States Marine, lived in Sag Harbor, and the run kind of does his life.
The run starts out at the high school in Sag Harbor, where he graduated from. It continues past the marina he worked at, then over the bridge that was named after him, and next passing the cemetery where he rests.
Always be proud of him, and it brings that out like 10 times on this day. And then just seeing all the people in Sag Harbor coming out in support of his memory, it's a good feeling.
At such a young age, Jordan, came to serve and ended up sacrificing his life. The fact that he saved his brothers along with the Iraqis, it just means a lot to, show support, carry the flag, and, just support our troops.
Jordan's mother said he was awarded a Navy Cross, which is our nation's second highest award for valor in combat. But his heroic actions also inspired a film about those last 6 seconds of his life. His mother talks about why the run is so important to her.
Some of it is just to make sure Jordan is remembered, and it also is a fundraiser, so it allows me to provide, in Jordan's honor, is the memorial charity that I founded, and the memorial charity celebrates and honors anyone who enters the military or does go into law enforcement, as Jordan would have.
Ryan McGarry, who used to work in the Suffolk County Executive Office, helped organize all the local veteran fundraisers together into one series that can be found at SuffolkCountyVeteransRunSeries.com.
I would certainly hope it is supportive and raises morale, but the big thing it also does is raise awareness to the general public that here in Suffolk County, we are the second most densely populated veterans community in the country.
I'm an Army mom, but all the military and the sacrifices they make, and Jordan's sacrifice, his story, his legacy is going to go on forever.
Dara Berger reporting from Sag Harbor for LTV East End News.
Entrepreneurs in the Latino business community are stepping up to help OLA create a lasting ability to support students furthering their education. Organización Latino-Americana of Eastern Long Island announced this week that 7 local businesses have signed on to a new initiative called the Creating Legacies Scholarship Fund. Previously, Michael Donovan, an OLA board member, and his wife Linda Donovan contributed almost all of the money needed to provide 25 students with scholarships over the last several years. Awarded annually since 2019, these scholarships have amounted to $4,500 per student per year for the duration of the 2- or 4-year college or vocational program. The force behind this expanded scholarship effort is Yesenia Kichimbo, an East Hampton High School graduate who went on to earn a degree in political science from St. Joseph's University. She currently works as a real estate agent for Saunders & Associates. Kijimbo said that Latino youth face disproportionate challenges, many of them financial, as they seek higher education. This fund directly targets that gap with community-driven solutions, she said in a statement. OLA Executive Director Minerva Perez said in a statement that with these Latino business leaders uniting, we can leverage our collective power for lasting impact. The Long Island Business News has named a popular East End performing arts organization one of its 2025 Nonprofits of the Year. Our Fabulous Variety Show was recognized this week in LIBN's Corporate Citizenship Awards, which were created to recognize those who believe that, quote, by being good corporate citizens, we contribute to the economic and social well-being of our employees, businesses, and communities. This theater company was founded in 2010 by Anita Boyer and Kasia Klimiuk, best friends who create original productions that give kids a voice and an inclusive platform to showcase their creative talents. The group is currently raising money to attend a competition at Disney World in Florida next year. Got a dirty car? Bring it to East Hampton Middle School on Sunday, August 10th for the OFVS car wash between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Author's Night is almost here. For lovers of fiction, nonfiction, memoir, and more, the East Hampton Library's annual fundraiser is a not-to-be-missed event. 2025 marks the 21st year of Author's Night, which happens under a tent in Herrick Park on Saturday, August 9th, starting at 5 p.m. A $150 ticket gets you into the event, where writers including Neil deGrasse Tyson, Robert Caro, Christy Brinkley, Tom Clavin, Helen Harrison, A.M. Holmes, Jessica Seinfeld, and many more will present their latest works. After the party in the park, guests who buy upgraded dinner tickets will have the chance to dine with celebrity authors at private homes in town. All proceeds from the book sales go right back to the library. The website for more information is simply authorsnight.org. For more events happening around town, here's this week's event calendar, which is chock full of fun. Let's take a look.
Project Most has a science-themed challenge for kids ages 5 to 12. Make your own sundial. The fun happens this Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. at the Most Holy Trinity School in East Hampton. Full details on this workshop and lots of other activities can be found at projectmost.org. On Tuesday, August 5th, singer-songwriter Inda Eaton takes the stage at the Stephen Talkhouse in Amagansett to share her signature folk rock sounds and stories. The show starts at 8 p.m. and tickets cost $40. Her show will be followed at 10 o'clock by an industry night with DJ CK Beats with a $12 cover charge. What is industry night? Well, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you'll just have to visit StephenTalkhouse.com. Return to Paradise, a Styx tribute band, headlines next week's concert in the park at Lake Agawam in Southampton Village. The music kicks off at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, August 6th, and is free to attend. Bring a blanket or beach chair to sit on. Hampton's Dance Project is returning to the South Fork for its 7th season of original choreography and music brought to you by ABT professionals from New York City in association with LTV Studios. Dates are August 8th, 9th, and 10th. Shows start at 6 p.m., but ticket upgrades for a pre-show reception are available. Check it out at ltveh.org. Climate change is happening right here and right now on the East End. This will be the topic of a panel discussion at 10 a.m. on Saturday, August 9th at the Hampton Library in Bridgehampton. County Legislator Ann Welker is the moderator. Visit southamptontowny.gov for a QR code to sign up. And finally, fireworks will light up the night at the Sag Harbor Fire Department's Carnival on Friday, August 8th. The carnival itself runs August 5th through 9th at Havens Beach in Sag Harbor, with all the rides and games, bells and whistles you can expect from a traveling amusement park.
Paddlers for Humanity, a group of volunteers with a love for the water, once again hosted the Block Island Challenge in July. This year, the 18-mile open water paddleboarding event benefited from student participation more than ever before, while raising thousands of dollars for youth-related charities.
50 brave athletes stepped onto their paddleboards on Saturday, July 19th for the annual Block Island Challenge. The event entails a rigorous 18-mile open water journey from Montauk to Block Island to raise money for children's programs throughout the South Fork through the organization Paddlers for Humanity. Of those 50 water-loving individuals, 8 were local teenagers who collectively raised over $12,000, a significant percentage of the total fundraising effort, according to Fred Doss, a founder of Paddlers for Humanity. The leader of this kid pack was Colt Dunchick of Amagansett. He's a senior at East Hampton High School who spent several years on the Block Island Challenge support boat before going the whole distance for the first time this year.
In the past, there's been a couple kids that have done it, but there's never really been like a youth movement towards it. So me and my other friend, who's very into paddling, decided that it would be like nice to like ask all of our friends and see if they were into it, and they were.
I mean, for him to take that on is it's noble. I mean, you know, he worked it.
At first, Dunchik said, his peers didn't quite understand what they'd gotten themselves into.
By the end of the time when they did finish it, all of them were kind of like, I'm glad I did it. That was probably one of the hardest things I've done in my life, but they were all glad that they finished it, and I think they kind of realized the bigger purpose of it all. All of it kind of goes towards the youth out here and bettering the lives of kids.
The conditions were incredibly challenging on the day of the paddle.
Usually the tides are different and it helps push you towards Block Island, and this year in particular the tides were against us for most of the time. So when we would paddle, and you take a break every 45 minutes, during that 10-minute break roughly, we would sometimes lose half of the ground that we had already made up. So it took roughly 7.5 hours this year, 8 hours.
It's been 20 years since the Block Island Challenge came into existence, and this year's paddle was intended to be the finale. However, Doss isn't so certain the journey is over for good.
We said, you know, maybe it's time. No surprise, I guess. More than one person, in fact, many, have said, please don't let this go. We will do whatever it takes to keep it going. My guess is now that this is not the end. Let's put it that way.
Christine Sampson reporting in Montauk for LTV's East End News.
Our next segment is dangerously cute. The Animal Rescue Fund of the Hamptons has kittens upon kittens up for adoption. Let's check out these adorable furry faces.
It's kitten season here at the Animal Rescue Fund of the Hamptons, and these bundles of joy are ready to steal your hearts. Brought to ARF by Operation Cat, these babies come from different litters and were rescued locally. Each of them have their own distinct personalities, from energetic and playful to quiet and shy, but they're all lovable and ready for their forever homes. Not only are these tinies looking for their best friend, but their moms are also looking for a fresh start and loving families to care for them. Visit arfhamptons.org to learn more about these kittens and their mamas and how to adopt them.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of East End News, bringing you hyper-local headlines through the power of public access television. I'm Christine Sampson, and we'll see you next week.